Hi, Chris Conway here. Welcome to the Aloft studio. It's a bit warm up here. We're having our second heat wave, but I've had to keep the windows closed because there's a lot of breeze coming through. It would make a lot of noise. And then, yes, the mic stand is up and ready for action because I have been recording songs for a new album. I've done about basic tracks of 7 songs. The instruments will be added and things, but yeah, I've been enjoying it, and it'll take a while, so still my brain is enjoying the job of working on these new songs. What I really wanted to talk about was remember I made a big hoo-ha about Sounds Like Rain being 30 years old, my debut solo singer-songwriter album came out in 1995. This was the cassette, became a CD, etc., etc. Well, and actually, to celebrate that, I've been including a song or two, well, quite a few songs in my live sets lately, and sing-arounds and slots and open mics and things. But I suddenly realized I neglected that another album came out in the same year. And it's of songs, but it was an album of jazz songs that I made. And it came out on cassette, of course, and a very humble cover, this, because it's just photocopied onto blue paper. But the reason was, when I started recording it, I never thought it would be an album when I started. What had happened was, I had accumulated a number of jazz songs. This grew out of when I turned professional in '89. From then on, for quite a few years, it involved a lot of piano jobs. That's what was my bread and butter, and bars, restaurants, functions, and various jazz clubs as well and things. But I had a lot of hours, and out of those, I would write tunes, and those tunes got words added to them. There were 2 real sources for those, I think, listening back to it. One of my first jobs was at the Belmont Hotel, nice hotel just across the park from here, still there. And I played baby grand there, their baby grand for about 12 years, every other Saturday, apart from December, when it was every other day until Christmas, mostly Christmas carols. But yeah, it was a regular job, and when the restaurants was quiet, I was often left to my own devices, and I tended to make, jazz sounds, mellow kind of backgroundy things. Tunes came out of it, and what it kind of tended to be, the songs I can recognize that came out of there was kind of what I call sad late night piano guy songs. So that kind of thing. And then the other source was, around that time I had another piano job in a pub in town, across town, called the Pump and Tap, and it started as a piano job, but I was joined by a fellow called Dave, no longer with us, who played snare and brushes. And then it slowly turned into a jam session, and that was every Thursday, I think, for 7 years. And so I tended to make tunes up that people could jam to easily. A lot of them were kind of minor key. And when I wrote words to those, they kind of were quite, what do you call it? A bit like Ray Charles kind of songs. But I can tell some of those songs came from there too. I had a few of that kind of thing. And so, yeah, when I was recording these songs, as I said, I didn't think I was making an album. I just knew by then, 1995, that I didn't really want to make a living as a jazz piano singer guy. But I had these songs that had built up. So in my front room, I recorded straight to a digital cassette player, a DAT tape. So the quality was good. but there was no overdubbing to do that you could do with that and that. So it was just me in my front room. Actually, it was a shared house, and the front room was my room, front door room. And I would just I got a good balance between the voice and the keyboard, and I just wanted a record of these songs. As you know, I don't write music or read music, so I just was gonna just record them till they were done. And I think probably about halfway through, I realized this could be an album. And when it turned out to be album length, when I'd done them all, it seemed, yeah, why not? But I knew I wasn't going to sell many of these because it wasn't really going to be my business where I was going to be pushing them or anything. Hence the kind of cheap cover. But what opens up with this? No, just the titles. I've just dug this up from a pile of them I haven't seen in years. Oh yeah, actually there's a little shot of me playing piano, and that was at the Bump and Tap, those pictures. But funnily enough, I decided in the end, when burning your own CD albums came possible, I did release it on CD, and the album's called Déjà Blue, but no, it's not. It is Déjà Blue. Isn't that funny? I changed the title. I've only just realized the cassette's called Dreams Turn Blue. And the reason is I changed it to Déjà Blue because that's a song on it that I play a lot. I still play it with Gavanan. It was the most played song, so I must have changed my mind. When I put it on CD, the couple of tracks I added some harmonies because I always could hear the harmonies and it was frustrating they weren't there. And I had the technology to do that. And I think on one track a few bits of shakers and things. So that was it. Isn't that funny? I never noticed that I changed the title. So yeah, I kind of, well, it's a lot of these songs have got stories attached to them. I think a funny one was Wonderful Time. It's a little happy, jolly little song. And let's have a wonderful time. But I had around this time there was a call for auditions for a TV chat show, which was well established in the UK, a daytime TV chat show called Pebble Mill at 1. And the call came out somehow for auditions for talent to possibly play on the show. And I went for it and got the audition. It was held in Birmingham, and I took my trio, Neil Segrot and John Runcie, who were eventually my jazz trio, Happy Landings. And I expected a fancy theatre, but it was a factory, an old factory on 3 floors, and there were rooms everywhere, and people were being auditioned everywhere. It was kind of far more crazy and anarchic than I expected. And I did my audition with was singing Wonderful Time and one other, I think. And I didn't hear anything, of course. Months went by. But then, about 6 months, 8 months later, I got a phone call. And it was from the guy who was auditioning me. And he said, right, I heard you saw your audition, and I can't offer you anything for Pebble Mill at 1. But I wonder if you'd like the opportunity to play at my golf club. And there isn't any money, but it would give me an opportunity to see you again. And I said, no, thank you very much. Boy, getting a free act for nothing. Couldn't even play as a token petrol. Anyway, there are other stories. At the end of this album, I put a little thing where the final song is called Nobody's Fool But My Own. And it's the ultimate sad piano guy. Sad late night piano guy. The world's all gone wrong and everything. And when it's finished, I put a little sound effect at the end of me talking to a barman, saying, "Same again, Joe." And a voice going, "Right away, Mr. C." And a clinking of glasses, just to give the conceit that the whole thing was done in a bar, which was my life then at the time. I hope you enjoy it. Have a listen to it. It's on Blue. It's on Bandcamp. It is on Spotify and various things like that. Give it a listen. I feel bad that I forgot about this album because it's another side of my music output that I didn't ever really return to much. And Déjà Blues I've been singing forever. As I said, I sing it with Giovanna. And when I sang it at the Phoenix Theatre here in Leicester, you had a jazz club on Sundays. It used to be brilliant. Went in, sadly, no more. But the lady who ran it, Joan, who used to run it with her husband, Tiger John, said, when she heard it, and said, "Oh, I like that Déjà Blues one." And she said to me, "I tell you one thing, when you write a blues song, you'll be singing it for the rest of your life." And she was so true. I never thought I'd be playing it. So it is the most commonly sung song because I've sung it with the Irish band, with the jazz duo I was in, with the jazz trio, and all jam sessions around because it's a blues. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, if you've got that late night jazz feeling, maybe this is the album for you. And I'm not going to play at your golf club for nothing. Good night, everyone.